Hey, YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Litecoin. Right now we're sitting at $59.44. We're up 3.37%. What I want to do today was go over the technical analysis as well as the crypto fear and greed index and kind of show you where we're sitting on that. Because right now, guys, this is the time when you really need to calm your emotions down and just really look at the charts and look at the patterns that are forming. The last thing we want to do is FOMO into the market. That's a really big deal for us. I know many people have FOMO'd before. I've FOMO'd before. And guys, sometimes you can just have those profits ripped right away from you. So that's why you always want to have a plan for the upside, the downside, and the sideways. And that's what we're going to look at today. I'm going to show you the upside, the downside, and the sideways. And guys, if you get something from this, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Like I said, I'm going to continue to cover Litecoin. I know so many people have given up on it, and creators really don't cover it as much anymore, but I'm going to continue to do that the best that I can for you. It's the first crypto that I ever bought, and I definitely love Litecoin, and I think in the long term it's going to do well. So when we're looking at Litecoin here, guys, we're looking at this trend line break, and you can see this. The trend line break came, and it also came on nice volume, so we did have good follow through here. When we broke out, it was around about $46, and we've went as high as about $61. So that was a really nice strong move out of there. And what you can see here, guys, this is on the 4-hour chart, and I want to do the 4-hour chart so you can see the patterns a little bit better. But what you can see is the transition or the switch from these lower highs and lower lows to now higher highs and higher lows. As you can see this trend change, we had our volume climax to the downside right there. So that was the final capitulation, and then the whale started stepping in down here around $35. And since then we've been having higher highs, higher lows, as you can see, guys, coming in higher highs, higher lows. Now what we're dealing with here, we're at our next resistance area, and that's going to be at 59.89. and you can see we're having some wicks here. There's a lot of profit taking around that area. We came down to our 20 moving average here on our 4-hour, and we found a bounce. But when we bounced off here, we came back up again. So right now we basically have a tweezer double top. So you can see we pushed up to about 60 here, guys, then we tweezer topped right here. So what we're going to have to see is if this is some type of consolidation and we're going to make that next move up, or if we still need to retrace a little bit more, maybe back down to this $55, build some strength, and then make that next move up. Because traditionally, guys, you don't want to come up to the same place twice and fail. A lot of times you'll see that as a double top or just like a weekly double top before you potentially could start dropping lower. But for Litecoin right now, with the type of volume that we had, I want to see this run continue, and I think this run will continue. But you have to remember, after each strong push, you always have that retracement. Strong push, retracement, strong push, retracement. Now this is our first push where we haven't really made a higher high, because here's a higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. Do you see that, how that works? Then you have all your higher lows coming in. So this is the first time that we've got rejected, and it's at this 59, we'll call it $60 mark, where we had a lot of chop and fight over in this area as well right here. So guys, what I want to see defended here is $55 for support. 55.01 is going to be the area that needs to hold for us. Now to the upside, we have to break out of this 59.89, and then the next area would be that 64.41. And what you have to do is look at these by areas, okay? So guys, whenever you break through one like this 60, if we break through this, come up here, we would want to back test that, find support off it before we make that next move up to try to challenge that $64. And then the same deal, once we get above 64, we'd want to find 64 support, then we try to move up to that 79. So there's a really big gap between 64 and 79 in terms of overhead resistance, where we could really run hard, fast, and aggressively. And you also, guys, if you look at this, you can see how this is almost that rounded bottom effect. We had so much selling right here, and now we're making it all up on the backside, and that's traditionally what happens. And in traditional markets, typically bear markets are a lot faster than bull markets. Bull markets last longer, but what it seems like in the crypto space is the bear markets actually last a little bit longer, and we have more sharp, aggressive moves on the bullish side. Now, traditionally in the regular stock market, the bulls climb the stairs. It's a slower process, and the bears jump out the window. You'll see those big, sharp drops. But it almost seems like in the crypto space that we have sharper moves to the upside than we even do the downside, and also the fact that the bear markets can run a little bit longer. Just like this, guys, if we take a look at this, in 2019, we went from $22 all the way up to $145 in about 6 months. That was the first half of the year there. That was in December all the way up to about that June time frame. And then ever since June, we went from that 145 all the way down to 35, but that took us almost 6 months to get there. So now we're trying to find that reversal area right in here, and that's how you reverse, guys. That nice rounded bottom, the supply and demand changing, the volume starting to come in. So that's a beautiful thing. So in the short term now, we are still in an uptrend, and we're trying to get this into the intermediate term uptrend and then a longer term uptrend. It's all about changing the trends, but these are the main areas that I have. So 55.01 for support, and then it'd be down around 46.99 for support, and then my overhead resistance is at 59.89, and then around that 64.41. And what I wanted to do next was get into our RSI, some of our indicators here. And guys, like I said, you want me to keep covering Litecoin, smash that like button for me. Let me know down low, what are you doing with Litecoin? Have you been in a position? Are you playing a position? Are you sitting back waiting for a nice retracement? Because, guys, we've seen so much craziness in this market. I mean, you can have trend line breaks and make a really fast, aggressive move like this, and then in the matter of a week or so, a lot of times you can even lose it all. So just be prepared. Use stop losses. If you're playing a long position, really use one of those tight stop losses, because traditionally, guys, after a move like this, it will want to keep moving. It shouldn't start to just roll right over, and that's where that stop loss could really help you out. If we do start breaking down below like that $55 range, that's kind of where I'd put a stop loss if I was in a play right now, 53.49, somewhere right in there, just to keep yourself safe in case we do start to have a double top and we really drop down hard fast. That's just how I like to play things, and if I get stopped out, then I look for the next good opportunity to buy back in. That's what I like to do. But in terms of the RSI, we are at 66 right now, and the level that I would watch on the RSI is this right here. If you can see here, I'm going to draw a trend line right along the bottom here. We want as many touches as possible. So sometimes you actually have to go through some areas down here, guys. Like this area where it can drop through, that's okay, as long as you get as many touches as possible. So what we would have here, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 touches right in that range. And you can see these higher lows, how they were coming in. That's very important for us, that these higher lows continue. But us being at 66, we still have plenty of more room to run to the upside. You can see back in here, we've been up as high as 78 recently, and that was October 26, 2019. And guys, that's when we went from 20 on the RSI all the way up to around 78. So you have to realize that this can get very aggressive to both the upside as well as the downside. And that's why we're in this space of cryptocurrency, is for that volatility. We want the volatility so that we can play the volatility and really make large moves while trading. That's what I like to do. And then we'll look at the MACD. MACD here, we're gaining higher lows, so same deal here. Our histogram starting to try to tick to the positive up there. We're gaining some strength, but now, guys, it's really just kissing. There's a lot of indecision taking place right here. So the MACD, got to look at that and pay attention to the histogram as well as that downward cross. And then I want to jump out to the one-day chart for us. And then we'll get into that crypto fear and greed index. So what I liked, guys, as we were putting in this reversal, and this is a big deal. Let me move or get rid of these overhead resistances so you can really take a look at these moving averages here. All right, so our moving averages, we're up above our 20 EMA, we're up above our 40 EMA, and we're up above our 50 moving average. So that is a big deal for Litecoin, because we've been below a lot of them for quite a while now. We had a few instances where we popped out just for a short amount of time, then we just rolled back over. But this is a big, strong move on heavier volume coming out of a trend line break, and now we're up above these key crucial moving averages. So that's a big deal that the trend is changing here, guys. That's what you want to see. And we had a bullish engulfing candle down here to put in the bottom. We had another bullish engulfing candle here. And then we had a nice strong candle to break out of this downtrend line that we've been in for over 6 months. So, you know, guys, that's where I find it significant, but I just want to pay attention to these wicks up here, because there is some profit being taken. We're just going to have to see if this is consolidation, where we kind of move sideways or drop down slightly before we make that next move up, and then start challenging that $64 range. Then it'd be up to 77. Then we'd work our way up to 100, 124, and then back up to around that $150. Now, when we're looking at the crypto fear and greed index, I wanted to show this to you. Crypto fear and greed index right now is neutral. It's at 54. And the reason why I believe it's neutral, it's at 54, is because we had that explosive move. There's a lot of guys really waiting for that retracement, or the area where they can calm down a little bit, which we're in right now, before we potentially could have that next move up. But it's nice to see last month On the crypto fear and greed index here, we had extreme fear at 23, so things are starting to improve a little bit here. Yesterday it hit greed at 55, so now we're at neutral at 54, right below that greed area. So this is a good spot to be right now for Litecoin, guys. We're just going to have to see if we can continue that move up or if we're going to have some slight retracement. But, you know, just like we were talking about in Dash when I was pointing out that inverse head and shoulders to you guys, it was around $50, I believe it was, if you go back and watch that video. It's at $125 right now. It went over $130, so things can get so overextended to both the upside and the downside, and we definitely could have another push out of here. So just be prepared, be ready, guys, be safe. If you like these videos, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. But it's good to see that the trend is changing. We are definitely in an uptrend now, at least on the short term, and we want to try to get it into that intermediate term. That's the biggest thing for me, guys. So get some from this, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless you all. Take care.